So what is SQL? SQL actually represents the letters SQL, standing for Structured Query Language. And there are four main SQL statements. Those are the typical statements you're going to work with. They are select, insert, update, and delete. What we're going to do during this course is let Dreamweaver do most of that work for us. But I'll move up and open up About Us just so we have an active page. You'll see once I have an active page, I have access to the database information. Now there are different ways to create our SQL statements within Dreamweaver. I mentioned we're going to let Dreamweaver do most of that for us. So if we want to pull data out of the database, we go to the Bindings panel. And if I hit the plus sign, a SQL statement to pull data out of the database is known as a record set or a query of the database. We're just pulling data out of the database. You don't need write access to the database itself. It is possible to have difficulty putting data into a database, but be able to pull it out of the database just fine. If that's the case, that means you have read access only. You cannot write new data into the database. You can only read the data that's already stored there. So to pull data out, we use the Bindings panel, and we'll be doing this moving forward. I'm not going to demonstrate it here. We'll actually create some queries or some record sets. In order to do other features within the database, we move out to the Server Behaviors panel. And within this section, this is where we can insert, update, and delete data from a database. So the Server Behaviors allows you to use these three SQL statements. The Bindings panel allows you to pull data out of the database. We will be doing examples of working with all four of the SQL statements. I just wanted to show you these panels. This one is to pull data out, one of the most common ways to work with the database. When we get to modifying or changing data within a database, we move over to this section. Now, to pull data out of a database, it's known as a select statement. So the four options for SQL are select, insert, update, or delete. And we'll be working with those. But since we're having Dreamweaver create those actual SQL statements, we won't be specifically working too much in the code. The code kind of gets buried in what Dreamweaver creates for us, so I wanted to at least mention those four statements to you. So let's get working with database data.